Command presence, learning how to see gray. I'm a proud United States Army retiree. My 28 years of honorable service allowed me privileges and opportunities I probably would never have seen if I had taken a different pathway in life. What steered me towards the military was because I come from a single parent household and I had 4 siblings that I needed to help my mom take care of. But what started my journey was my grandmother. Some of you all may be too young to know about this, but there used to be a store, a big box store called Woolworth. And she would always buy me this 50-count bag of Army Men toys, okay? And my favorite one was the one you can see behind me. So I would be in heaven just playing with that toy. That's all I ever wanted. And I knew at an early age that I always had a calling for either military or law enforcement service. I was always drawn to structure, discipline, and camaraderie. And of course, the symbolic uniform, which led me to discuss command presence. Command presence is when you project yourself as a person in authority who is trusted and respected. Anyone can have command presence, whether you're a teacher, a coach, or a parent. You can demonstrate command presence. It's about how you project yourself with your voice and your stature. The military thrives on command presence. It's how we project our physical movements, our tone of voice, our movements. But command presence is different in the military because they don't have to meet people where they are in their mental and physical toughness. It's about accomplishing the mission. It's an environment of cut and dry, authoritative leadership, black and white instructions like, go here, do this, say this, see that, and we'll worry about your emotions later. In contrast, command presence combined with learning to see gray is when you look deeper and you're more concerned about the well-being, the complete well-being of a person versus the atomistic parts, which means just a portion of the person's well-being. Learning to see gray can also enhance your emotional intelligence. One of the most outstanding examples of command presence and learning how to see gray happened in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. It was one of the most costliest and worst storms in American history. Over 25,000 people were staged at the New Orleans Superdome who were desperate for food and water in the sweltering summer heat. Military officials and law enforcement had their weapons pointed at civilians. They had their weapons pointed at innocent civilians. It was a chaotic environment until one person stepped on the scene and changed the whole game. Lieutenant General Russell Honore, a 3-star general in the United States Army. Using very colorful language that I cannot repeat, when he arrived on the scene, he said, drop your weapons, lower your weapons now. The situation required an authoritative command presence to defuse the hostilities because there were weapons involved. But by ordering them to lower their weapons, he acknowledged the gray. He made them understand that this is a humanitarian effort. We're not in a war zone. We're not here to police the citizens. We can all do the same. We can have a new day. I learned how to see gray better when social science studies helped me switch to a subtle, empathic command presence. I learned to see the why of substance abuse. I learned to see the why of incarceration. I learned to see the why of suicidality versus questioning people, why can't you do it? I removed my hardwired, minimal excuse military persona to meet people where they are, not where I want them to be. And then you can embrace them from there. We can have new thoughts. We can have new strengths. Society demands a different approach. We can move people forward and redefine human experiences by challenging outdated leadership concepts and interpersonal skills. We can have new possibilities by switching to a softer tonality, a different approach, and we can see the cry for help in the gray areas of a person, and we can help them to carry their invisible loads. Last year, I redirected someone who was on a suicidal path of drug addiction, drugs laced with fentanyl. They could not see the value in their life. The old Victor would not have seen the early warning signs. The new Victor, practicing command presence, learning to see gray, was able to help that person see the value in their life, and they entered into a substance abuse program. The one thing that resonates with me, and I can still hear it today, after they completed the program, I saw them again, and their words were, "Mr. Victor, I did it. I did it. I'm clean from drugs. Mr. Victor, I did it. I'm clean from drugs." My story may not be for everybody, but it's for someone. So ask yourself, who's the person in your life that is begging you to see their gray? Thank you.